What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Full 90. It is time for La Liga Week 20 predictions. Now, we had a good week last week. We had 2 perfect scores, and as you can see here, we're currently top of this random group of people that started doing La Liga predictions last week. So out of these 10, we are the top predictor. So that bodes well. I'm excited to get back in for another week of Spanish football. Be sure to subscribe down below if you want to see all things La Liga, Bundesliga, Serie A, Premier League, and Champions League related when it comes to predictions. And be sure to leave your predictions down in the comments below. I love with these new videos, this new series, I get to see new people, new faces, and their predictions for the games that happen. So like I said, drop them down in the comments. And whilst you're down there, flashing up on the screen are all of the people that are supporting me over on the Full 90 Patreon, which you can find using the first link in the description over there. For a low price of $9.99 a month, you get exclusive members, tips, and accumulators pretty much every single day. You get access to messaging me directly if you want to, and it's just a really good time, and we've made a bunch of profit this season as well. So if you want to get involved with that, you can join for a month and then immediately cancel your subscription if you want. You still get the month that you paid for, so you can do that if you want, have a little trial period. But the first link in the description, and of course you'll get a shout out in every video once you do sign up. Nevertheless, as I said last week, we had a good week. We predicted Girona would win 1-0 away against Alaves. We predicted Espanyol and Leganes would draw 1-1. Vallecano and Celta Vigo, both teams to score at nearly evens. We had Sevilla and Valencia. I highlighted both teams to score at 2.1 as really good odds, and that came in as well as Real Sociedad beating Villareal at home. I thought that was a pretty good prediction as well. So we are back with La Liga. Kicking it off, we have Espanyol up against Valladolid. As I said, we predicted them correctly in the last game week with a 1-1 draw, and I think I'm going to do exactly the same with exactly the same tip for more or less exactly the same value. I think Espanyol, Valladolid, I mean, as you can see here, very, very close in the standings. Espanyol 1 draw ahead of them, and you could argue that was the draw they got last week. I'm going for a 1-1 draw, and the tip once again is going to be Espanyol double chance and under 2.5 goals at 1.75. That allows them to get the 1-0, the 2-0 win, but it also keeps the 1-1, which is very likely, in my opinion, on side, as well as a 0-0 draw. So I think that's really good. Coming up after this, we have Girona up against Sevilla. As I said, we tipped a good tip for Sevilla at above evens, and we got Girona to win 1-0 last week as a perfect score. This one I found quite tricky. I thought about both teams to score. I did think about a draw, but I'm just going to go with home form and say that Girona win and both teams to score at 2-1. But the tip is going to be Girona to win at odds of 1.85. I think it's just about good enough. Sevilla, they're a bit of a tricky team, to be honest. They are a bit of a tricky team. So I'm going to say Girona win 2-1. After this, it's Leganes up against Atletico Madrid. Whilst all the drama's kicking off between Madrid and Barcelona, Atletico Madrid are at the top of the league, having only lost 1 game, 7 wins in 7. I think they continue it here with a win against Leganes. I'm going to say 2-0 win, and the tip is going to be Atletico Madrid to win and under 3.5 goals at 1.95. So that's 1-2, 3-0 and 2-1. All the most likely scorelines combined for what should be a fairly routine, fairly straightforward win for Atletico Madrid. After this, it's Real Betis up against Alaves. Now, I was very, very close to tipping Real Betis to win 1-0 or 2-0. So Real Betis and under 2.5 goals. The odds were 3.6. But the odds of Real Betis to win and under 3.5 goals, which gets the 3-0 and the 2-1 on side, were good enough for me. So I'm saying Real Betis win this one 1-0. The tip is going to be Real Betis to win and under 3.5 goals at 2.2. I know Betis had a disappointing result last time out against Valladolid. I tipped 1-0 to Betis. It was 1-0 to Valladolid. But Alaves, they're not particularly good. They just lost 1-0 to Girona, as we said. I think they're in for another 1-0 loss here. And Betis, they really need this win. They don't want to be lumped in with, you know, Osasuna, Celta, Vigo, Vallecano. They want to be up with Girona and Sociedad. Those are the teams that are more on Betis' level, I would say. And I think they get the win here at home, 1-0. After this, it's Getafe up against Barcelona. Barcelona, as you can see, lost the 2 recent ones against Atletico Madrid and Leganes, but that was an outrageous game. However, I think Barcelona bounced back. They've won the Spanish Super Cup in an exhilarating fashion, and I love the tip for this one. So I'm going to go for a 3-0 win to Barcelona, and the odds are Barcelona -1 handicap at 2.3. So all you need, I did have someone ask on my recent video what -1 handicap means. It's just, or minus 1.5, I guess you could say I'm tipping here. They just need to win by 2 or more goals. And that could be 2-0, 3-1. It doesn't matter if they concede or not. I think they're going to win quite heavily, so I'm going to go 3-0. You could do Barcelona to win at 1.5 and just put that in an ACCA if you like. But Barcelona -1 at 2.3. I love that value. I think it's super likely, so we're going with that. Following that, we have Celta Vigo up against Athletic Bilbao. I mean, the odds suggest you can't separate them. Atletico Bilbao actually slight outsiders. The odds here are slightly different. Celta Vigo slight favourites in this one, but I think Bilbao are much better. They're in the top 4 already, quite comfortably. I think they're going to win this one, but instead of going Athletic Bilbao to win, I've gone for the same odds. Athletic Bilbao double chance and both teams to score at 2.6. If you're feeling brave, you could go Bilbao and both teams to score. Odds are probably about 5. I think Celta Vigo could score for sure, and that's why the odds are the way they are. But I do not see Athletic Bilbao losing this game. So them not to lose and both teams to score at 2.6, I think the odds are really, really good. I like it a lot. I mean, look here. 2-1 comes in. 1-1 comes in. 2-0. Oh, that's a good win against Villareal. 2-1, that comes in. Against Real Madrid, by the way. Vallecano, it comes in. Sociedad, again, a good result. Valladolid, it comes in. So it's coming in, I think, 5 of the last 7. They're in really good form, and I think they will get the win. Moving on to Real Madrid up against Las Palmas. I think this is going to be a fairly comfortable win for Real Madrid. Even though Palmas are in, decent form, they're above the relegation zone. They just want to survive this season, of course. I think Real Madrid win this one 3-1, and I'm going to be brave enough to say Real Madrid and both teams to score at 2.37. There's been a few sort of defensive frailties for Real Madrid. I mean, you look at this game here, they were quite lucky in the end to beat Valencia in the way that they did with 10 men. I think they're going to win this game. Real Madrid and both teams to score at 2.37 looks like a good one to me. I think they're susceptible to conceding a goal here and there, so I'm going to say 3-1. After this, Osasuna, Rayo Vallecano, they're both on 25 points, near enough identical record. How do you separate them? I think obviously Vallecano are in slightly better form. Osasuna are the home team. Vallecano double chance looks pretty damn good. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw, and the tip is going to be both teams to score because the odds, again, 2.1. I think I really, really like that. You could go Vallecano double chance at probably odds of about 1.7. I think that's also pretty good. Osasuna winless in at least their last 7 games, so you could look at Vallecano double chance. I'd slightly shade them. I'm going both teams to score. I'm going a 1-1 draw. After this, winless in 7, at least Valencia versus Sociedad. Going from strength to strength. This win against Villareal was a really good one. We did predict them to win by 1 goal in that game. I'm going to tip Sociedad to win 1-0. And the tip is going to be Real Sociedad. Draw no bet at 1.61. Do I think Valencia win? A team that have only won twice this season? No. I don't think so. They're bottom of the league for a reason. They're having a terrible time with it. And Real Sociedad are a good side. So I'm going 1-0. Sociedad draw no bet 1.61. If this was Valladolid, the odds wouldn't be like this. It would be like 1.9 for Sociedad. It's just the legacy of Valencia, like the team that once was. That's why the money is sort of going there, I feel like. But they're not them. So, granted, they had a decent performance against Real Madrid. I just think Real Sociedad take advantage of a team that's in very poor form. And, I mean, if they get relegated, surely they don't, but because it's so close. They're only 4 points away from safety, but still, the fact that they're in a relegation battle is insane. I'm going to go Sociedad to pile on the misery here. And after that, the final game, Villareal up against Mallorca. 30 points apiece so far. Absolutely incredible. Mallorca in brilliant form. Beating Getafe 1-0. Beating Girona 2-1. This is a bit of a gut feeling. I'm going a high-scoring Villareal win. I'm going 3-1. And my highest value tip of all leagues the whole week, Villareal and both teams to score. That takes you from a Villareal win of 1.65 to 4. That could be a lovely little single for what I think is fairly likely based on the odds. Monday Night Football, under the lights, Villareal to win and both teams to score. Here's a quick summary of the results. As you can see, a mixed bag. I'm really looking forward to seeing how these games unfold, to be honest. I think there's a lot of value to be had in some of these teams here. I mean, we take a look at Athletic Bilbao. I think there's a lot of value there. Villareal, there's a lot of value there. Real Betis, there's value. Barcelona, I think there's value. So there are a few like trappy sort of games. games. The Girona Sevilla one's a bit of a question mark for me, to be honest. Valencia Sociedad, it's a tough one. And Leganes Atletico Madrid, I'm just not quite sure on the goal line. But either way, some really exciting fixtures in La Liga as the relegation battle heats up and the title race continues. So that is going to do it for La Liga predictions. If you did enjoy it, please do drop a like, subscribe so you don't miss any future videos, and I will see you in the next one very soon.